Welcome to TheoTrade. Don Kaufman here, June 10th, 2026. Just about 30 minutes to go to the cash close here on this Wednesday afternoon. S&Ps, NASDAQ once again under pressure. There is a critical change, however, in markets, and that has a lot to do with higher degrees of correlation. Look, this volatility, bottom line, traders are getting paid, and tourists, they're getting educated right now. Let's get into it here on this TheoTrade evening update. First thing to display to you, well, what you're looking at on the screen happens to be none other than the S&P futures. This is a 30-day, 1-hour chart. The reason I wanted to go to a more expansive chart is just to show you the big reactionary low that we saw, as recently as, yesterday and kind of rebounded off of. We're very, very close to retesting some of those lows. And into today's cash close, you got to be concerned about it, because if you don't either retest the lows or blow through them, I think that there's probably some unfinished business. Now that, again, that is a 30-day, 1-hour chart of the S&Ps. Let's open it up a little bit. This is actually 90-day, 2-hour. And the 90-day, 2-hour, look, I just, you want to say that I've got some levels in here. This is volatility. You don't have any levels. And that's one of the first things to kind of state. The volatility is starting to proliferate right now. And that's when I was saying there's been a kind of a critical change. What do I mean by proliferation of volatility? Well, let's get right to it, because looking at the S&Ps, you can argue, well, they might stop here at 7,100. You don't have anything. This was just kind of a lull in the marketplace. You don't have any like huge kind of reactionary, markets and reactionary lows that I can see in here until you get, way down. It's just chaos, like 1,000 points lower. But that's how far we've moved in the last 90 days to the upside. So I wanted to start with, well, unfortunately, what is a pretty hideous looking chart right now inside of the S&Ps. Let's snap back to a daily chart just to get a quick feel. As I said, we're really close to that big reactionary low of yesterday, but piercing through it. Again, I don't see any degrees of support in here, and I know people are going to whip out, let's bring out the Fibonacci's. That's not going to do it for me. Let's talk about some of the proliferation, if you will, of sell-side activity. One of the things that's really on my mind right now, and I was just going off about on the weekend update, is you can't have real degrees of capitulation in the marketplace. Like those of you that are, I'm looking for a bottom, a bottom. We haven't even started to really correlate very much. I don't know, maybe today. Maybe today is one of the first days we start to see greater degrees of correlation. We're going to read that right now with you. But you've barely even started to correlate, and people are already talking about, oh, I'm capitulating. Okay, capitulating. What have you really had? 2 big down days? Huh? Yesterday scared the crap out of everybody and kind of rebounded back up. But today we're actually retesting some of those lows. So what's the difference, right? I'll tell you the difference. The advanced decline line right now is no longer a 50-50. You know what was so interesting about yesterday's sell side activity? And I really want to go into some detail on this. This is the crap that actually matters. In yesterday's sell side activity, when the S&Ps felt like they were going to be a bottomless pit, okay, there was a positive advanced decline line. That's some of the scariest crap that I've seen. Today, you can see there's somewhat of a degree of correlation. There's still 36 products in the S&P 100, okay, that are positive. Again, there's still 36 products that are positive, but it's still on a percentage basis. If you look at the S&Ps, they're off right now by approximately 1.4%, and the NASDAQ is actually off by 1.8%. But here, in stark contrast, you're actually seeing the Dow even get pulled into this. So we're starting to break down a little bit more, but more cohesively. So if there's a positive, okay, note in this conversation over here, it's that again, as we're actually coming off, we're coming off as a unit, and that simply means that you can have those kind of wicked rip your face off rallies as well. Why? Because we're not seeing this constant like rotation, where you're like, look, tech pretty much across the board is getting hit outside of Apple. Okay. Granted, though, Apple got smoked in the last 3-4 trading sessions. I mean, from an expected move point of view, this thing just absolutely got demolished, in the last couple of days. So it's up. But across the board, you actually have most of the big tech stocks getting hit pretty hard, along with semiconductors. Okay. And today, quite interestingly enough, you even have the financials down minimally, though. So it just hasn't kicked into high gear. And it makes sense, like the energy sector. Why is the energy sector up? Because oil's up. But when I look to the bottom of the screen, I've got sector ETFs. We're still running a little bit towards retail. This is the XRT. It's one of the retail ETFs. We're still running there. We're still running into consumer staples, okay? And, you can even see the XLU is massively unchanged today. But again, all your other major sectors, they're down, and they're down pretty good. So you're starting to see a little bit more of a flush, if you will, across the board. That's what you need, okay, to start to see some of this volatility, okay, kind of, not only come to fruition, but situation has to kind of come to a head before it's going to end. And we're just not at that point yet. We're just, I don't want to say we're not close. We're a lot closer than we were yesterday. Because yesterday I saw the S&Ps down, 100, 150 points at one point, and a positive advanced decline line, which is absolutely chaos in the making. So that's huge. That's critical. The next aspect, and this is, again, I don't want to, give you all negativity of the marketplace, but the next aspect, I want to actually cruise down to the VVIX. That's the volatility of the VIX itself. It has gone parabolic. So why this matters and why this is so interesting, okay? Let me zoom into the last couple of trading sessions, okay? And just kind of ask this question. Yesterday, we all agree there was some big sell side activity yesterday, and then we bounced. But the volatility, okay, of the volatility, that's the VVIX, the volatility yesterday took it really well. Took it with like a grain of salt. Like the volatility got up to like 103. I got a question for you. Why is the volatility higher today? Why is the VVIX higher today if the S&Ps have not, okay, the S&Ps have not crested to new lows? It's a great question, right? So do you see the S&Ps hitting new lows right here, right now? No, they're close. But all of a sudden, if you extrapolate up, there's more volatility hitting the tape today than yesterday. Why? Because the market's starting to correlate. The fear is proliferating, and that is one of the most critical changes. So not only are we seeing higher degrees of correlation, but we're seeing volatility really start to react. The exact same argument can be made in the volatility futures. The volatility futures crested today right to highs of where we were yesterday. But the S&Ps have not hit those lows. So whatever is going on in today's trading session is more scary, if you will, okay, to professional trade than we saw yesterday. And that unto itself, okay, has implications. What are the implications? Strap in, people. This is it's going to be a rough ride. So again, the VVIX, the volatility futures are critical. Now I know a lot of people like to look at VIX. VIX is lesser of a great indication because VIX itself is an equation. It's not actually a tradable, tangible product. The volatility futures are a tradable, tangible product. They've come to life, okay? And again, spiked right up to where we were yesterday. So push all of that aside for just a second. What do we got so far? All right. Yeah, higher volatility, okay, than anticipated. And again, you can argue that the volatility is even higher today than it was yesterday, which makes very little sense because the S&Ps saw, I don't want to say it's considerably lower, but the S&Ps right now are trading what? 7,300. Yesterday they were 50 handles lower, okay? And yet, again, volatility is higher right here. Okay, reset for a second. What do you do in circumstances like this? So investors, they start to panic a little bit. Obviously, we have a situation also coming to a head this week with, I would say, the SpaceX IPO. I kind of feel like the SpaceX IPO is a little bit of like, buy the rumor, sell the news. People are so invested, like, don't worry, man, it's just another $75 billion after Anthropic raised, Okay, what, 65 billion, then Anthropic raised another 35 billion in debt offering, and then Google took in 85 billion, and then SMCI, which is Super Microcomputer, they did another offering out there. It is just wild. Don't worry. Okay, what's a few 100 billion amongst friends? So SpaceX is going to go IPO on Friday, and might go IPO into an absolute crap storm of volatility. But investors right now start to run scared. If you're looking for a hedge, it might be too late to hedge because it's getting expensive out there. So the best hedge might actually be, if you're an investor, lighten the load in your position, meaning actually cut size. Yes, that means sell stuff. It's okay. It's okay, people. Okay. Look, if you actually look objectively at this chart, where would you rather sell? Where would you rather sell, huh? Up here, okay, or maybe down here, and you're going to have to be the judge. I don't know if we're going there, okay, but I can tell you right now, these S&Ps don't look good. And again, as I said, sell side activity is starting to proliferate. Volatility says it, okay, correlation says it. Everything on the screen is actually screaming that right now. Okay, as a trader, where do you go? First of all, people start to look at stuff like Google, okay? This thing hasn't even like skinned its knee. So on a year-to-date basis, Google is still up 13%. Apple, okay, still up about 7.8% year-to-date. And I'm going through this for a reason. Microsoft's getting hammered a little bit down, about 15% year-to-date basis. Amazon, okay, now only up 5%. Starting to take some water on, right? Tesla, down some 12%. That doesn't bode well for the SpaceX IPO. Meta, down 11%. Okay, NVIDIA, which is like, oh, this has got to be a spectacular. What? It's only up 6%. Okay, then we have Broadcom. Broadcom, which is one of the #1 performers, gets crushed, only up 7%. Right? So now you're a little bit worried as an investor and a trader. I would actually shy away from some of these products. I wouldn't necessarily trade into these. Where I'm looking right now, look at stuff like Target, up 27%. You want to know why? Traders rotating into them. Okay, what am I looking at in here? Take a look at Costco. Okay, Costco still up, got a nice bid back under it. Okay, Starbucks, sell side activity, got a nice bid back. What am I looking for? Opportunities to short. Why? Because in the end, if this volatility continues, they're not going to hit one or two of them. They're going to hit them all. And at this point, you got to think about the rotation, the counter rotation. So let's say, for example, something like Starbucks or Walmart. Walmart's also a pretty good picture in here. Walmart, strong bounce in the last couple of days. Why? Because everything else is getting the crap kicked out of it. But let me give you an argument here. All of a sudden, let's say that money starts to rotate back into big tech. They're like, no, we're going to save it, man. We're going to save the semiconductors. We're going to save big tech. They're probably actually going to hit like XLP. They're probably going to hit, okay, things like, and this is one of the most wild ones. If you don't believe that these are like ridiculous rotations, just look at XHB. What's XHB? It's the home builders. The home builders have been ripping to the upside, because everybody wants to, buy houses and build homes in a higher interest rate environment. Today, the home builders actually reverted back down, though, because everybody realizes how ridiculous this move happens to be. Nevertheless, okay, you got to kind of think right now, if they rotate back to the semiconductors, okay, they're probably going to hit stuff like Walmart. They're going to hit stuff like Starbucks, okay? You want to be in this game. They're going to hit stuff like, check this out. I put a big position today in Delta. Okay, I mean, Delta is what, like 3 days removed from, well, here, let's pull up like the max chart. 3 days removed from an all-time high. Okay, how can that be? How can this thing still be trading at an all-time high? Fuel prices, okay, yada, yada. You can go on all day. Okay, this is something that could come off absolutely huge. Trade is still running scared. Trade is still rotating capital. We're still playing the shell game. The shell game has to end. And that is one of the most critical things, but it's also one of the best opportunities right now in this marketplace. So with that, it's 15 minutes left. S&Ps are down. Okay, they're down 104 points. Don't be surprised if we actually retest those lows that we saw yesterday. I mean, yesterday it almost felt like a little flash in the pan. Like, oh yeah, it's not too bad. Again, I'm going back to this 30-day 1 hour. Like a quick flash in the pan, and we got down there, to 72.50, and then actually ripped higher off of it. It left some unfinished business, and literally into today's close, I know we've bounced here a little bit. Today's close, I'm still left wanting more. More what? More sell side activity, higher degrees of correlation. Those factors have got to be there before we're going to get any meaningful bounces. Otherwise, strap in, people. As I said, you're going to come in for more volatility. Again, I started with traders are getting paid and tourists are getting educated. Thanks everybody for joining us here at TheoTrade. Have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.